Let's chat with Paul Gravett. Let's chat with Paul Gravett. No worries.
So welcome, this is part 2 of Let's Chat with Paul Gravett. That was just a quick commercial break there. And I'm delighted to welcome Becky Burke here. Please welcome Becky Burke.
Thank you.
And it's lovely to meet. We ought to have met much sooner than this,
yes.
so I'm so glad we have.
Yes.
And we're also, of course, extremely glad that you're here. I think this is one of the first public things you've done since.
Yes, this is my first fair since I've come back.
Yes, that's quite a moment for you in a way to come back into the.
Yeah, it's felt weird coming back and being
Has
like,
it?
okay, more people are going to know me now, I think.
In a sense, I got to meet you, of course, not having met you before. But
Yes.
in a way, that's
Yes.
but you're also very welcomed here. As you know, this is a very supportive community, isn't it?
Yes,
The
I
comic
came
scene is
to
great.
MaccPow last year, and I wanted to come back already before this happened because it was so friendly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Now you're involved with comics. We're on a very different subject because we're dealing with autobiography here. Although I have a theory that an awful lot of comics are autobiographical, even when people tell you they're not doing it.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes, I have a pair of zines, my out of dates ones, that I like to tell people are definitely not based on my own dating experiences.
I'm not.
Not.
But.
Wink, wink.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's like that. Okay. Yeah. Because also, even when people are doing sort of superheroes or science fiction, we all know, for example, like Superman was actually kind of at least partly autobiographical because both the creators were young little Clark Kents. They were little nerds at school, and they all dreamed that they'd become strong. So even though it's a fantasy, it's very much rooted in real things.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you're making autobiography, do you feel there's a kind of commitment that you have to be absolutely accurate and absolutely honest? How do you decide what goes in and what doesn't go in?
I think about the bits that will resonate with people when I think about what to include, or the bits that I think are important for people to see that they might not normally see.
Right.
So I don't mind drawing a caricature of myself with my boobs out sometimes. If that's what the situation needs, I'll do it.
If the story demands it.
That's not happening in the detainment book. No. I don't get my boobs out there. That would be inappropriate in the situation.
I think it probably would be, yes.
But I like to show people things that I think I would have liked to seen growing up to help me feel less alone, or now I want people to see like this so that they can see what's actually happening in America. And I know there was a spotlight on me when I first came out from detainment because I'm a privileged white cute little backpacker, all bleary-eyed and like, oh, I'm going to go traveling in America and everything will be fine, even though Trump's just become president, so
let's
not worry about that.
No, don't worry about that.
But there are a load of people in there affected by that situation and equally scared, equally confused, people saying they've got work visas, green cards even, people were saying they had, and they don't know why they've been pulled off the streets, so it's not just me.
And of course, since then we've had the riots in Los Angeles, ICE doing some extremely heavy-handed, just awful activities. Yeah, it's a very alarming time. It always has echoes of Nazi Germany. Of course, people are talking about Hitler and this kind of thing because you have people that are like the ones to despise, whether it's the Jews or the gays back in the Hitler era, or now it's illegal aliens, so called, and if they're not. So it's always if you can keep the public divided and not paying attention to what you're really doing, that is how these kind of people operate. Yeah,
it felt very dystopian. Even when before I was detained, just backpacking, I would hear in the communities I was staying with people discuss, ICE van's been spotted on this street, a few streets away, and they'd group chat their friends.
How do you spot an ICE van? They haven't got ice on the side of it, have they?
I don't know. I don't know. They must have their ways of being able to detect these things. So they've had to learn to detect it because they're scared. And it would like spread around these WhatsApp groups, like, be careful, ICE are patrolling. And I was like, that doesn't sound normal.
It's so-called, it's not the America that I have in mind, being so open and free. But America has always been a very, very complicated place because it's so enormous, don't you think? And that allows for a lot of strange things to happen, and whether it's religious sects like Mormons, you must have maybe heard of them. And there's all sorts of. It's an enormous space for freedom, but that comes at sometimes with complications.
It's a petri dish.
That's a way of putting it. It also just feels to me a bit like the Wild West, essentially, even now, in terms of, I'm stronger, I've got a bigger gun or something, and I'm going to win, kind of thing. I mean, I love America. I have lived there. My brother lives there and married there, but he's quite nervous about it now, and he's slightly put off travelling outside of America, even though he's an American citizen.
Yeah, well, it's because Trump's
2 years.
targeting anyone now that is against him in any way. People protesting a topic that he disagrees with. He's like, let's get them as well.
It's all designed to stifle dissent, isn't it? Absolutely, yeah. So, but just to backtrack though, because your path to comics, I wondered, what were the first autobiographical comics you read? Because that's not a genre that's on the newsstands in W.H. Smith. It's not like Beano or anything. So where did you realise this is a vehicle for that you could then adopt? You know?
On Instagram, there were a lot of autobiographical comic artists, especially during the pandemic. There were people like the illustrators, Emma Evans was making a diary comic at the time. I was just seeing all these independent artists suddenly turning to comics to document this event that was behind closed doors.
Right.
That was you could only really see by showing people through comics, for example.
Exactly.
And so I started to do that.
Did you go on and discover that there's actually been quite a big back history of autobiographical comics? Have you looked at any of them? What happened before, or you're just pursuing your own path?
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, it just came out of necessity because during COVID, I went through a bad breakup and ended up back at my parents' house, and I had to find some way to communicate what I was going through, and it was always really reassuring to get comments from people going, oh, I really relate to this.
Exactly.
This happened to me, or something like that. So that motivated me to keep telling stories about things.
It must be a little bit nervousness to making it difficult to say, I'm going to put my life out there.
Yeah, I've definitely worked my way up, like exposure therapy slowly. It was like bad breakup, everyone can relate to that. And then I wrote a comic. My first one that I self-published was about period pain.
Right.
And then I moved on to these that are not about my dating life. And then I made a sex zine about sex issues I had. So then I'm like, okay, I don't even mind anymore.
It's all out in the open now, isn't it? Yes.
And now entertainment. So we're just going through everything. And it's always been cathartic for me. It helps you process, I think.
And when you're working on your comics, I mean, are you scripting things first? What's the process for
it comes to me very visually, so I'll have scenes of pages in my mind, and for this one, I journaled while I was in detainment, so I have 19 days worth of journal notes that came to 90 pages of handwritten notes.
So is that a page a day we're talking about?
4 sides a day.
Oh, 4 sides a day.
4 sides a day.
Yeah. And did you find making comics in that situation was some kind of help to get through it?
Well, I didn't make the detainment comic while I was in that. I wrote the notes.
You only weren't making comics, but you were making notes and keeping records.
The journaling really helped. I did also thumbnail a different zine while I was in there because I had time and nothing else to do.
Right.
And I needed distraction desperately.
Yes.
And it felt too much to thumbnail the detainment comment while I was living the detainment experience. I was like, that's a bit too much.
It's a bit too
so I'll just write about that and I'll thumbnail this other silly, the 3rd edition of my not dating zines, because I thought that's just to get me out of here in my mind for a moment. And it was actually something I could show some of the other women to entertain them. Right. So I was making material that they could read and enjoy.
Because I gather with the interview with you in the Comics Journal, and people love the fact you would draw them and their children. And some
you didn't get new media in there. You had no phones or internet.
No.
So being able to produce that felt like...
So they gave you pens and pencils and paper.
I bartered for them.
Oh, I see.
A Mexican lady gave me colouring pencils and a sketchbook in exchange for me drawing her children.
Oh, lovely.
Because there's an online a shop where you could order things with money that people put into your account. So she got that for me because I did these drawings for her. So I just had a pencil, like a HB pencil, and a pack of 5 different colouring pencils that I used.
And is that defining how you're going to do the actual book now?
Yeah, the book is very traditional
because
I
preview here.
Yes, thank you, Paul.
So that is these are the coloured pencils essentially. I mean,
yes,
not the same ones, obviously.
But
you're using that palette.
Yes,
shall we say. Yeah.
I'm using colouring pencils and watercolour. I didn't have watercolour in there. That would have been quite bougie. But I am trying to recreate the kind of hand-drawn, textured technique of my original drawings that I did in there that I have.
You put some of these, haven't you, online? Yeah. These are the ones. These are the actual physical ones that
this
you
is
had
from this was
place.
detained with me, and I was very worried while I was making them that they would not let me take them out.
They might think you would. Well, yeah.
But I hid them.
Did that come up?
I asked one officer, and she said she couldn't guarantee.
She couldn't guarantee.
She couldn't guarantee that I'd be allowed to take them out.
No.
And I thought, especially if they saw I was trying to kind of record what was happening, I was worried they might
sort of
take them off me. So I hid them underneath some legal documentation I had in an envelope, and they managed to get out.
How many did you make altogether?
So this is my cell.
That's a kind of isometric view, isn't it,
Yeah.
of the cell? Yeah.
And then every weekend they had leaders of different faiths come in to do different religious ceremonies. So this is one happening here.
Right.
And
I read an interview. This is how you organise, because you met quite a lot of people.
Yes, I made
even this
like a
grid.
table.
Yeah.
Because I realised I wanted to make a comic about that. And so I've got a little portrait of every, well, this is only there was 104 women in my dorm.
And how many did you end up doing this time?
I think about 30.
30, yeah.
And I would draw them, their age, how long they'd been detained for, and a bit about their story and their current status. Like most are waiting for court dates, and the court dates can take up to like 3 months. For you to go and see someone because of the backlog, because Trump decided to fire a lot of
huge number of people.
Judges.
Yeah, so it's, and then at the same time ramp up the ICE arrests program.
This is some observational sketches of people using the phones.
Oh yes.
And
yes.
people, you didn't have anything to do, so you just lie around or talk to people or make phone calls.
Yeah.
There was definitely like the consensus in there that you would go mad if you didn't have anyone to call. Like the phones were always occupied. You would wait for one to be free.
Right.
Like I had a set time in the morning. I would call my parents
They knew you
at 9 a.m. in Washington time. It was 5 p.m. here in the UK.
That must have been literally a lifeline.
Yeah, I would think about it all day and like the only way I could sleep, I barely slept, was to think, okay, well at least in the morning I can call my parents. Because now I'm out, obviously I'm aware of the time I was in there, but when you're in there you have no idea how long it will be for.
No, of course it's
and you have no communication from ICE. They only started talking to me once my story hit the press.
Yeah.
That's the only way they started to acknowledge me.
Yeah, which of course is, in one sense, is a good thing, but it means that many other people are never going to have that opportunity.
Yes, it's not the way it should work.
No, not at all. And and how are you planning the book? And have you got it sketched? Is it?
I've thumbnailed maybe a third of it. I think it's going to be quite chunky.
Yeah.
I've thumbnailed.
There's going to be a lot of interest in this book, though. Isn't it? Seriously,
yeah, a lot of people message me saying, I want to read this.
But I'm talking about a publisher. I would have thought a publisher would go, this is a book we need to get out there. I mean, no disrespect to self-publishing and small press, but I'd have thought somebody will go, we've got to have this
I am working with my agent currently.
Yeah.
I got an agent.
An agent. Oh, my God.
Just
name
talk
drop.
To my
agent. Call my agent.
I got an agent now.
Well, la-di-da. Congrats on that. That's wonderful.
Which is again, it's really weird to talk about this thing because it was terrible, but then somehow also some of my childhood dreams are kind of coming true, and it's like, how can I reconcile these two things?
But I think you are reconciling it for the fact that you're giving a spotlight and on the other people that are still there.
Yes,
That didn't
I
get
hope.
Out.
I hope so, because that's what's motivating me, is the fact that I feel I have this insight into a system that a lot of people are affected by right now, and I want to share what I saw and the stories of the other women in there, which I don't think many people would kind of envision when you think of illegal immigrants. I think people have like a set notion of what that means, and you've skipped the paperwork.
You're here.
But that's not what's happening there. No. Also, there was a large percentage of the women in my dorm were asylum seekers.
Yes.
There was a lady from Gaza who I get updates from some activists over there, and she's just been deported, and I don't even know where they're going to send her, because I doubt you can deport people to Gaza.
No.
And there were just women there who were scared, were fleeing violence, and they're just left in the dark and not told when they're going to be out or what the next steps are. So I want people to kind of know that the people in there are not what you might expect.
Exactly, and this is, as you say, can only ever be a little glimpse of the people there, but it is more than we ever get to see. I mean, is there journalism? Is there something that's out there covering it in the way that you will be doing it? Would they won't allow TV cameras into these places.
No,
they won't have any journalists going, what's your story? You're in a pretty unique position to have been able to get these stories, in fact. And tell them to us.
Yeah, I planned on saying the line that Trump picked the wrong backpacker to detain.
Yes.
But also he's doing a lot of things wrong generally, so I don't want to just isolate that one thing wrong that he's done.
No. It's a good line, yes, definitely.
But I called I was a nanny, a part-time nanny in London, and one of the mums that I used to nanny for is also a journalist, and I called her while I was in there. She wrote the Guardian article about me when I got out. And she just said, write notes, write, like, you're in this, no one gets inside here for journalism purposes. You're in there, and you're someone who's already primed with telling autobiographical stories, write notes. So that's what she told me to do.
So there's the drawings. Have you got and the tables you were showing us of the people? Did you have a lot of handwritten diaries or notes? What other notes do you have?
Yeah, I have a lot of notes. I don't have them with me because it's a mighty stack of handwritten notes.
And you were able to get those out?
I've typed them up now.
You got them out all right?
Yes, they were hidden with everything else. In my little envelope.
Okay, all right. You managed
nowhere dodgy.
No, but I mean, were you not? Weren't you a bit? It wasn't a bit dodgy in terms of, weren't you nervous if it could have been found? There might have been some push. There might have been some problems.
I was feeling quite strong at that point, having survived that whole thing. So I was ready to like make my case that it was my own private property, and they had no right to take it away from me.
No, and I can remember being absolutely disgusted. I was in at the States when it was going on, but the way they treated you when you had. But even though you were were innocent and you were allowed home, that you were going on the plane in chains.
Yeah.
In manacles and things.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to go back for 10 years.
So it is something I want to appeal.
Innocent. I mean, that's if you're innocent. Did you hear that?
Criminals get bail, and criminals get.
This is America.
Visiting hours.
This is America. It's not America, is it?
No.
It's not what I think of as America at all. I mean, America's had a complicated history from the very beginning, as you know, but it was essentially, for so many people, it was a new home and an escape from tyranny, wasn't it? People fled there.
Yeah, my dad likes to say they treated me like Hannibal Lecter. So that's watch out, everyone. I'm going to get you. I'm a big danger to society.
So today you've got this sort of little preview of some of the pages.
Yeah.
Some of them look like they must have been, these are like Instagram format.
Yes, this is...
How much this is going to go into the finished book?
Yes, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
So this will basically be the beginning of the long form comic that I'm working on.
And how long is long form, do you think?
About 200 pages, I think.
That's big.
I've thumbnailed 70 pages and I'm still on day 1 of 19.
Wow,
so, but day 1 has a lot of information I need
so much to get in there, isn't there?
I need to lay the groundwork for.
Yeah.
So it's going to be chunky, And I've only made little zines before, so it's quite daunting. But
I'm kind of impressed, of course, that you're getting on with it already. But then you obviously have to do quite a bit of planning, I would imagine.
Yes.
To make the story kind of balance and work and flow and all that kind of thing.
Yes, I have
that?
breaks between the planning and the drawing.
Yeah.
Because thinking too hard about it for too long,
I can imagine,
is a bit stressful.
More than a bit. I can imagine.
And I'm really struggling with. I'm at the part I'm going back to the border, and what happened there, and that's a really hard bit to think back on because I keep thinking like, why if I just said this, if I just said that, or why didn't I stand up for myself more there?
Yes. What you could have said, what you could have done. Yeah.
So that's difficult to go back over.
And also quite difficult perhaps to get across in a comic because you're having to
Yeah.
Like, what if I didn't do the right thing? Or do you have to say, you have to have lots of thought balloons, I suppose?
Yeah, I'm going to have narration. This bit, there's no narration because when I first arrived, I was just in shock. So there was hardly anything going on. Like I was only able to be and just, it felt like a dream. Yeah. So it was only at the end of the first day when I sat down and I asked the officer for some line paper and I started writing. So that's when it will come in the comic as well. I'll start to get narration when I was able to kind of compose my thoughts for a moment. So there will be that, and that will mostly be based on the journal notes from when I was inside there. Which I'm really surprised now. I'm like, how did I manage that while I was in there, distraught and terrified, and had no idea how long I was going to be locked up for? But I think I had to, because otherwise you're just in there thinking.
It was a way of almost stepping out of it, or just a little bit.
Because every time I would write, I would think of the future.
Yeah, you knew you were recording it for the future.
Yeah. And the time when I would be able to share it. Yeah. So that's what.
Will you incorporate a lot of this material into the finished book? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
I mean, physically, you're going to show some of the original.
Yeah. Well, I've compiled a little stack of documents as well.
Oh yes.
In this, there's a scan of the inventory document that they created when they were first putting me into the system of everything that was in my backpack at the point when they detained me. So I'm including that with then a drawing of my backpack as a very morbid what's in my backpack kind of segment. Use that. I did think, I could use this as a future packing list. Now someone's conveniently typed out everything that was in my backpack. So I've got some other paperwork like that I want to scan.
It gives that kind of reality, doesn't it?
Just to, exactly, to ground it and say this really happened. Brilliant. And I've got the transcript from my interrogation at the border that I want to include some pages of. So it's going to be a mix between comic panels, scanned documents, some original artwork from detainment, and at the end I was thinking of including just a profile of all the other women that I made notes about with nice watercolors, using the sketches of the ones I made and colouring them in because I can remember them all really vividly. And just to maybe having an update as well because I've kept up to date with a lot of...
Where you know what's happened.
So I can say they've been deported, they've been released.
In some cases it's just not ongoing uncertainty.
A lot still ongoing. So,
Thank you so much, Becky. Well, I think we have to wrap up because we're a bit tight. But before we do, is there anyone like to ask just one or two questions at all? I'd hog the conversation. At the back, sir.
You were one of the first European high-profile cases of a creator being detained by ICE in the US. We've now gone to further into the summer, and you've also got other comic creators who are going out, say to conventions or whatever. And I'm certain that you've had conversations with those, or people have reached out to you. What have you been saying to comic creators just to either visit or even going out on a legitimate kind of process to visit the US for a convention?
My what I've just been telling most people in my life who listen to me is not to go to America. I wouldn't risk it. And also, I don't know if you really want to be putting your money into their tourist industry right now. Americans make good comics. It's really annoying that this has happened. Yeah. Like, they also have really nice nature, which is why I went to America, to see the nice big trees. But I think it's not something you want to support right now on the one hand, but on the other hand, also, it's very risky for you to go. So I would just be wary, and I wouldn't go until maybe the next presidency. Yeah.
Or maybe something will happen a bit sooner, who knows?
Maybe. Hopefully.
Thank you so much, Becca. Any last question? Otherwise, I think we have to wrap up now, I think. But thank you so much to you, Becca.
No problem.
Very
Thank
best
you.
of luck.
Thank you.
Let's chat